Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever it is, whatever time it is. I hope you're doing well. Um, so, I did a little bit of testing while I was making some phone calls and writing some emails and doing some taxes and all the fun stuff that life pulls me in. And I kind of came to some conclusions that weren't as obvious as I was hoping. First conclusion is that anytime you're this aggressive, where so much of your curve is not just overall low, but happens at the 2 mana spot, and you've got a couple of, like, you've got a dual mana card over here, you're going to be in trouble by introducing a third card. This is a great card. I played with it a couple times and I liked it, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form thinking that it has a place in this deck. It's an enchantment, and that's about all I got for it. It provides a bounce, returns artifacts. We don't have artifacts, so it's essentially just a card draw at that point, and then you get a 3/3 flyer on a deferred gratification saga. So, okay, not bad, but unfortunately not a reason to bring in any of these blue cards and not a reason to play our rare that we got over here. Similarly, we got the same excuse here on the black, and he's more of a control kind of ninja anyway. He comes in and takes a card away from them. Is the idea of like kind of creating some presence on your side while taking down something on theirs that didn't happen yet. That card they haven't played yet, kind of deal. Some things that also jumped off the page. The Dragon Kami Reborn just whips. I think it's our low creature count. We only have 13 creatures in this deck. We'd ideally like to be at 16 to 18. So we're missing 3. That happens a lot, I've noticed, in this format more than it's happened in others. And it's because the sagas are so powerful in this format that you end up investing, picks into this instead of just your typical 5 to 6 interaction / removal spells. You find yourself getting these as if they were creatures and then still wanting the interaction spells to happen. So I don't think that we're, grossly under, but I do think that we can make some extra bodies, and I do think that this guy, he kind of poops out a 1/1 every time he attacks or blocks. That's also another way to kind of create some bodies. I don't think that we're going to stand much of a chance in a grind unless we can protect our engines that grow. And what I mean by that is Kami of Transience, Goshintai of Boundless Vigor, and our Generous Visitor. Each of these are going to continue to grow with +1/+1 counters, and if they go away, if they go bye-bye, we are like defanged completely. We can do really well in the beginning, especially if we can get the Jukai favor of Jukai kind of combo pulled off in the first 2 or 3 turns. But other than that, it is a real slow draw to get this 5/5 to come out, and it is a real long time. This thing only has 3 toughness. It's very much able to be handled by a lot of the black removal spells that exist out there. And so I am not a huge fan of going slow. I think that we have to stay aggressive, and we have to consider, taking the mulligans if the mana is not already there. I also think that we really, really want the mana. We don't have the ability to take turn 2 off with this deck. And so if the mana is not there, we're in deep, deep trouble. So I think that, kind of depending on these bottom sides meant Tamiyo safekeeping to protect these guys, where if they get out there, we want to be able to protect them. It's got me thinking that throwing the Jukai out early is okay as far as like baiting out a removal spell. Throwing the Weaver of Harmony is okay in order to bait out a removal spell. Bamboo Archer is a great first drop. It kind of slows down their ability to attack, and it sort of gives us the opportunity to kind of, build up a little bit. We're not trying to go slow, but if they're coming at us and we're just going to trade out our 2/1s over here and our 2/2s, we're going to find ourselves having to play cards that we don't want to lose very, very quickly. Now, Kami of Transience, in the beginning, we don't care if it goes away because every time an enchantment creature gets cast, we get an opportunity to get it back into our hand. So I am totally willing to first, on turn 2, cast the Kami and not protect it with the safekeeping. But later in the game, after other enchantments have come out, after it has gotten an opportunity to pick up some of those +1/+1 counters, either through the visitor or through its own or both, which would be the most ideal, and it's got that trample feature, it is definitely a win con right? It's the thing that we're going to make it really, really tough on their end. We'll send it in there even if they can multiple attack it. Tamiyo's Safekeeping is like just a huge removal spell if they can get like triple and quadruple blocks. That's on there too. So I do think that this has become a much more important part of our deck than what I expected. And I think that the favor of Jukai became a much more important part of our deck. There is a play line that says put a Generous Visitor out on turn 1, put a Jukai Naturalist out on turn 2. That will make the favor of Jukai come down into a 3 mana spot down here. Stick this sucker on this sucker, and now you're attacking with, that's right, a 5/5 lifelinker with reach. That's awesome on turn 3. That's better than the other one, the land that's a 4/5 that doesn't carry anything else and costs you your land. You can't attack with it, and if you wanted to spend the mana, this is really sweet. Now, you have to have a perfect draw. You don't need the Generous Visitor. You could do a Fang of Shigeki and do the same type of thing. But the concept is really, really strong, and I don't think that you're going to lose that game if you're after turn 3 on your first attack cycle, you're at 25 life and they're at 15. You've got yourself in a really good spot. Really, really good spot. Other cards to note, Restoration of Ganjo is incredibly excellent. When you discard the card, it says you may discard a card, and when you do, return a permanent card with a mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. That means you could discard a land and get an extra land on the deck, so it's pretty cool. You'll have that land most likely in hand because of the step 1 saying go get yourself a Plains card. The other thing that you can do, though, is you could just drop any of these 2-drops that are in here, and they will all just go. You have an opportunity to put them right back on there. They'll be tapped when they get onto the battlefield. So don't expect to be able to attack, sneak attack kind of deal, or even a sneak block, unfortunately. But not having to spend the mana, getting an opportunity to cycle that card onto the battlefield like that is really, really nice. And then, of course, Vigilance 3/4, lots of positives that come out of the back end of this enchantment creature, fox monk kind of guy. And pooping out the 1/1 spirit tokens is always a nice chump block. Really a good way to get things going. Playlines like the Weaver of Harmony with the Tales of Master Chishiro are another way to really kind of gain a lot of pumps along the way. This can be repeated as well if you end up having a lot of cards in hand. And this guy's sitting on the deck, you can repeat step 2 and get 2 mana out, like can kind of double pump. So an amazing amount of ramping capable with the Restoration of a Ganjo. It's got me looking at white-green ramp as a possible move with an enchantment kind of feature into it. So it's got me thinking a little bit different than I had before. Geothermal Kami is good. Not great, but it's good. You need some life, kicking back something that you haven't really, maybe a Fang of Shigeki, right? Or a Generous Visitor if you haven't been putting the +1s on it, are really great. Kicking back the ideal for the Geothermal Kami is the Spirited Companion. It's really nice with the Jukai Naturalist because, you're putting this thing out for 3. You're pulling this thing back out, then you can drop it back out there for 1 mana because this guy's making all of these enchantment. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He doesn't get the discount, just him. But getting that 1 mana and getting that card draw and getting that body back on the deck all in the same turn, as well as the 3 life, is just really kind of cool. So I went down on one of my removal spells, thinking that between the Favor of Jukai additions that we put back in the deck and the Tamiyo's Safekeeping that we put back in the deck, that we were going to end up with the ability to win a couple of battles more than we would have in the past. And so, we can take out some of these bigger guys, even though most of our creatures come in very, very underpowered compared to 5 and 6-drop kinds of things. I'm looking at you, Beseiju. Wish we would have gotten one of you. That would have been so good. Bearer of Memory is unfortunately just here because she's an enchantment creature. I like to cast her for 2 with the Jukai if possible. I've utilized the 5 with a 5 with a +1. I don't care about the +1 as much as I care about the trample. And this thing starts to get real big. right? So you can definitely, if this thing's been sitting there for a long time and it's just been getting the, like kind of eating 1 mana a turn, but you're okay with it because maybe your Jukai's out and your enchantments are costing a little bit less, and this thing's up to like a 6, 7, 8, 9, then the 5 with a green mana starts to make sense because you can just slap it on there, get the extra +1, and throw them into the attack as a trampler. Um, so that's the absolute best case scenario for the Bear of Memory. Other good consequence though is she gets the ETB for the Kami and for the Generous Visitor as being an enchantment creature, and Geothermal Kami can bounce her and get the ETB again. And so there are some synergies for her in this deck, but I'm not seeing any synergies with this creature, and I'm not going to switch colors, and that's it. I don't have any other creatures in blue, and I don't have any other creatures in green, and I don't have any other creatures in white. Ouch, right? Regent's Authority is the right card for our deck. It's just not that necessary. I think that happening to get both of these rares, happening to get the Tales of Master Shishiro, happening to have the Boundless Figure, we got enough +1/+1s coming our way that losing a card to just essentially put a +1 and kind of do it as a trick one time is just, it's not enough gain for the card. I'd rather have something up here at the top end, or a removal spell, or some of these interactions that we're talking about here. Removals feels good. It doesn't feel great. We don't have an endless amount of removals, so we want to be a little judicious, meaning like we want to kind of hold it back until we think we can get the most amount of value out of it. Um, it's okay though. Um, I'm, we don't have a ton, but we have enough between the tricks and the spells. We should be okay. Now, I did lean us a little bit towards the green some more because I am trying to make sure that we just get at least 1 out of 3 land cards to be a white card in the most ideal opening hand. That way we just kind of keep all of our options open all the way through. If we can have 1 white and 1 green, there's nothing we can't cast. A couple of times I played, I kind of leaned all the way in one direction or all the way in the other. I also tested it out with different kinds of mana numbers, dropping the mana down to like what would be the equivalent of 16. That's 24 lands in a 16 land deck. I thought like maybe that would work. It doesn't quite often. You're stuck. You're stuck holding back, cards, waiting for a piece of mana to show up. Especially this really delays the opportunity to get the Imperial Oath out. If I do the math, I think we had to get to 26 lands to equal 17 lands in this deck, and doing that did yield some flood, like no doubt about it. But I don't think that we struggle too badly because Kami can come back, right? And so there's still some things to do that can kind of affect the board and then bring the Kami back. And a 2 mana creature is pretty easy to recast back out there, especially when we've got so many other cards that bring it back, right? Every single card in this line. None of those, but this card brings it back. And then almost all but 2, I think, this one and this other one, are enchantments of some kind. Oh, no, not that one either. This one is, it is, it is, it is, it is, it is, it is. This one isn't actually, but this one is. So a lot of ways to bring Kami back, though, pretty regularly. Maybe 1 out of every 3 draws can kind of bring a Kami of Transience back. So should we find ourselves back against the wall playing top deck, I do think that we should be okay. Not great, but okay at sort of getting an opportunity to kind of put some creatures and regain some board status. I'm interested to see how it goes. It seems like it's much more aggressive than any of the other decks that I've played. I've played some ninjas, and they are aggressive, and then they kind of peter out. And they peter out a little too quickly. A lot of times the green-white deck was able to put much bigger things on the board. Um, I'm talking about like those cards that like turn your land into a 4/5 on turn 3, right? As an example. And then it was like, how am I going to get I really got to get smart, and I really got to get crafty to get my ninjas to do something. I figured out most of the tricks in there. But we didn't get it. The other thing is, you can sometimes force like attacks to cause like interaction between things by putting stuff like Michigo's Reign of Truth. And boy, we would have loved to have Michigo's Reign of Truth in this deck. Faux show. I would have probably swapped out something like this for that. But it just didn't happen. We just didn't draft it. And that's okay. That happens. I am certainly not complaining about what we did get. I feel pretty good about the deck. I had a lot of turn 4, turn 5, or turn 5, turn 6 wins in against the bots, and that's usually my constructed line. Like I'll usually play a constructed game to see if I can keep the wins under 6 turns. If I can't win in 6 turns against the bots, I know I'm underpowered. We're going to have some issues. Now, we did win almost every game. I don't think we took a single loss, but that's not really what we judge it by. A couple of the games had to go all the way to like turn 6, turn 7. I'm sorry, turn 9, 10, 11. Specifically the ones that had a lot of life gain built into them. But it didn't seem like anything was overwhelming for us. So I am hoping to really make this deck sing in this and probably over under. I think the line for me would be 4 wins. I'm not is this a trophy or not 50-50 shot kind of guy. I do think though that if we get to 4 wins, we're ecstatic, right? And there's nothing about this deck that says that it can't get to 4 wins. I think this is a trophy level deck with the amount of power that's into it, specifically on the rare side of things. I definitely cut a rare and I cut a rare, so you're doing pretty good when you're cutting 2 rares out of your deck. Uh, but for the most part, there's just synergy everywhere. There's aggressiveness. There's just 2 colors. There's like, the closest thing to a mistake is the non-creature versus creature ratio, and I have a hard time calling that a mistake with an Imperial Oath as 1, Tales of Master Shishiro as 2, Restoration of a Ganju as 3 different different creatures that don't show up as creatures in the creature count, right? These turn into creatures, and this one turns into 3 creatures, and this one's creature poops out more creatures. So I don't think that we're going to run into a major problem with our board presence, but there's only one way to find out, right? So let's go into the games and see how we do. Maybe we can climb up a rank or 2 in the platinum side and put ourselves in a good spot for the end of the season. Wanderer's Intervention. So we have a removal spell, and I think we have to take a mulligan here. We did get 3 lands, but they're all in the opposite color of all of the other cards that we got. So we have nothing hitting the deck, only interaction and removal along the way, and we can't even do it unless we draw a white land. It's just really, really scary all the way across. So I'm going to take the mulligan, and we're much, much, much happier. We're going to just ditch the Repel the Vial simply because it's going to have to sit in our hand for a lot of turns before it becomes useful. So we put it back in the deck and hopefully draw it later when there are going to be some more creatures with 4 power, or even like a Saga or 2, like a Michigo, that is pretty scary as opposed to what's going to happen like in the first couple turns. So we're pretty happy with how that mulligan worked out. Back into the library you go. And as far as turn 1 is concerned, we just really want to make sure that we build some board presence. So I think what we're going to do is look at the Bamboo Archer as a turn 1 play, and then the Spirited Companion as turn 2, turn 3 kind of play, unless something more powerful comes up. I'm kind of thinking the more ideal line would be, if we get a Jukai Naturalist, this comes a lot cheaper and this comes a lot cheaper. And now we're, subtracting 2 out of 5, so we can get away with 3. That wouldn't be bad. We'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he also had to take a mulligan. He's playing a mana fixing land, which suggests that he's going to be playing 3 different colors, because you usually don't waste a pick in a draft unless you're trying to splash that color. And right off the bat, he's not doing too bad. I do not like that card long term, but I'm willing to wait to see what else comes in. So let's sneak a peek here at what we draw. And we did good. We did very, very good. Circuit Mender's a good card. Not the kind of card that you, aggressively, right, try to get rid of, because if I guess you would prevent him from drawing a card if you froze it up, but it's not that scary. We have it covered with the Bamboo Archer as far as a block is concerned, and so there's just not a lot of reason to say, like, I got to get rid of that. Weaver of Harmony is pretty solid with the Restoration of Aganjo, so I would like to get my Weaver of Harmony out, I think, before this one. This is a tap spell too, and if we have to wait for the entire Summoning Sickness, this thing will get past the thing that we want to recreate. So we'll hold off on that, and we'll say no attacks, and we'll just kind of let the board develop another turn before we start to consider how we're going to get aggressive, right? Well, our call that he was going to splash didn't really pan out necessarily. Acquisition Octopus, whenever it's equipped creature, it does damage, you get to get a card draw. This thing dies and gets a card draw. He picked up a land with life, but you can kind of see he's looking to restore a lot of card draw into his hand. That's sort of the MO of what's going on. I think that what I would like to do is let him spend a little bit more mana on his Go Shintai Boundless Vigor before I freeze that sucker up. So we're going to do the Restoration of Aganjo, and that is going to give us a Plains card, and we could get another Plains card by repeating this. I don't. If he goes over there, it's just going to still be a 2/3. So I don't see any reason not to, right? So let's get a Plains card and a Plains card, and all that's going to do is kind of help our. It's going to help our board state, so that as the draws start to come in now, we just got 2 free draws out of that whole deal. It shouldn't be as likely that we see more land. We're nice and flooded, but we should start to see some more creatures kind of show up, giving us some more interaction and more opportunity. Tales of Master Shishiro is a pretty real deal. He's doing exactly what I want him to do, right? And he's putting those counters on there. Unfortunately, we got another land, but fortunately, I got an idea of what to do. We have plenty of opportunity here to repeat, spend the mana, and it's not that big of a fear. So we would definitely just drop, discard this, right, and submit 1, and then submit 2. And then we're just, we're just, whoa, so much. We still get a chance to do it, and now we're up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I think we've got one more plus to go before the Go Shintai Boundless Vigor becomes the target of that spell. And so we're just holding again, because otherwise that +1 counter goes on to something else. And we know he's going to want to put it on the thing that has trample, right? I don't think he wants to trade with the Boundless Vigor, but he might have a trick along the way. Usually when you start casting cards before combat, it means that you're not likely to go out, right? Okay, that worked out perfect for us. Oh my God, talk about the flood, huh? Are we almost out of land? Can you do that? Yeah, I didn't think you could do that. That got me excited, though. I was like, whoa. We're going to do this, and we're going to do this. Just, sorry. Your grand scheme of things didn't pan out. Now, this one did, though. A 5/5 Vig is pretty good. I would, if he does an attack, I would double block with Architect of Restoration, I think. No, you know what? I don't want to lose that. I think I would probably double block with the Bamboo Archer. Searchlight Companion by itself does not scare me, but we've got to stop drawing land. Like, oh, that hurts. That hurts. We have got to stop drawing land. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands drawn in the first 10 turns. Not even 10 turns, I think. Yeah, no, that's fine. I can do this. It's worth. Hmm. I have no idea. We can't sneak an attack in. We just need board state at this point, and we don't need the extra mana, so we'll just hold it back there and make it look cool. We'll say no on the attacks and then turn. This is not going the way we want it to go, unfortunately, and it's the land after the land after the land after the land that's causing the problem. Um, yep. We got a lot of value out of that Restoration of Ganjo. There's nothing I can do about that. That's fine. You get a card draw. He's very, very weak, though. I think that I'm attacking in on the next turn if I can deal with the Circuit Mender in any way, shape, or form. Oh, that is pretty good too. Okay, we'll pop the Geothermal Kami. We'll bring back our Spirited Companion. We'll throw the Spirited Companion back out and grab another card. Oh yeah, we'll do 2 cards. I keep forgetting about that. That makes us feel a little bit better. Favor of Jukai, unfortunately, doesn't have the long-standing one, and we really kind of want the long-standing one to deal with the Harmonious Emergence. Wanderer's Intervention will deal 4 damage, so we could do something like what looks like a chump block with the Coiling Stalker and take out the Harmonious Emergence's Forest on the attack on the way in. So at this point right now, I think that we just say no attacks and end the turn. And let's see what happens next. Dealing with a 5/5 and dealing with the Harmonious Emergence would be pretty solid here, especially if we get to use our piles and piles of mana on the next turn to bring up like something. Ah, he's just going for the card, huh? I think I'll give it to him. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably the last one we're going to give him because the Favor of Jukai gives reach to whatever we want it to be. He is low on mana, and we're hoping to draw better than him. That's okay. It's not going to do anything. Yeah. You want to keep sinking mana into it? I guess he does. My turn. I'm going to run out of mana. How many cards have I got? Out of 20 cards, 11 of them have been mana. Like, holy shnikes. We'll hold on to it. Um, huh. So I think I'm going to put a Favor of Jukai on my Geothermal Kami. Really make it tough to fight. Right? Giving it some reach, making it tough for them to deal with along the way. It's going to prevent him from attacking with the Harmonious Emergence, but unfortunately the Wanderer's Intervention doesn't do anything until somebody does something on that line. And as it stands here, I still want a better board state before I start attacking in. He's got a 1, a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 4. So if I can just take out the 4, I think we're just pushing at that point. We're just slamming home. What? I've never even seen that card. What? He gets to keep it? Bullshit. Um, What an amazing card, huh? Damn. He gets to keep it. I gotta get it. I gotta get this Vile, Repel the Vile card, and I gotta get it quick. Dude, how much removal did you end up with? What the hell? Well, we're gonna lose this one. The best I can do is stop the geothermal from hitting me. I guess the flood was the problem, right? Like the whole point was just all we had was one little guy, and then we kept drawing nothing, right? Come on in. The water is warm. He's got something that he can do. Oh, this is just painful, man. Whew. Painful, painful, painful. What a ridiculous spell. I have no idea what we would do next. I don't think there's... Unless I get a Repel the Vile, I think I'm dead. Like, if I do get a Repel the Vile, I don't think it's going to be that bad. But we're toast. Still our best thing. Yeah, I think we're dead. Stop it! Oh my god. Alright, we have to cast it. If they give us the opportunity to trade out with the Prosperous Thief, that's what we'll do. It seems to me like 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. We get 2 of them back. So as bad as that looks, it's only 4, 5, 6. Well, it only goes up 1. Because that was a 2, 3, right? Oh no. I forgot. That was not the Prosperous Thief. It was the Moon Snare. Damn. It didn't matter about the +1. Wasn't going to change anything. We'll call it there. That's good. That's insane. Stealing my 7/6 and having it eat up the rest of my board. I guess you're going to run into that. Like he's got the rare card. It's worth a lot, but oh my god, that hurts so bad. Okay, first game. I don't think I've won a game 1 in so long either. I feel like I'm always getting just destroyed in game 1. We only have 2 mana, but everything kind of fits, so we're keeping. We'll definitely start with a Generous Visitor. We're on the lead. We can put the enchanted creature out next. He's wanting some green. Okay, that's a nice go slow mode. I don't think I'm too afraid about attacking in on that. I do want to get bigger on that attack if I can. We'll put it right there. And we'll go here. And we'll put it right there. That's excellent. Going to cast them both on the next one. Going to attack with probably the same 2 that I did before. No, it's fine. You can have it. They'll put a +3 on it, and it'll hit for 4. That's okay. Oh, no, never mind. I am especially happy about that because I get a free attack on the way in. So here comes an enchantment creature, kind of boost this board, get some life gain of our own. Sounds good. Here is a restoration of a Ganjo, something that's going to help us. Um, oh, that went fast. So, yay. Definitely can tell the difference between getting presence. That's a game. That's a turn 4 scoop with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coming at him. 10 because of the plus. So he'd be down to 6. We'd be real wide. We'd have the opportunity to put something else on the board, like for free. We have the removal spell for his next attack. Like sometimes the decks go your way, sometimes they don't. I guess the first one didn't. Happy to get the one win though. We are almost to 2. I think we can do this again. Let's get aggressive. We have 3 lands. A Spirited Companion and a Bamboo Archer are our 2 most defensive creatures. But we have a Favor of Jukai over here, and we can kind of sneak attack our capability if we can get all the way up to, a 4th mana, right? So we come out. Oh, he's going to be aggressive. This is definitely going to help. Okay, I kind of like this play more than anything else. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll get the green out just to make sure that like some tap shenanigans don't hurt us on that way. We'll get the extra card. We'll put the +1 on the Generous Visitor, and we will draw that card. Don't worry, we'll get another enchantment. Like we'll get another +1. It's just really easy to get out. See what happens. I think we just do our Favor of Jukai right off the bat and stick it on the Generous Visitor. I haven't seen a removal spell yet, but he is in black. But most of the black removal spells don't really kick in until later. You can block if you want. Meaning like they like stop at 2 or 3 damage. A lot of the burn spells in red do the same. So having a creature that gets its way all the way up, right, is just worth a ton. Certainly Nezumi Blade Blesser is going to make the attack, and certainly I'm going to say no on the blocks because I'm not going to do a 2-for-1 to prevent 3 damage. Like that's just crazy, right? We are doing pretty solid here. I think we could just repel the vial on that and get rid of this. That way he doesn't have that sort of threat hanging over our heads. We'll attack with 1. Got him down to half his life. He lost his menace, so if we could get the Spirited Companion up to a 2, it would trade with the Blade Blesser. It currently trades with the Guidebot. Not a good sign for him to miss a card there, but unfortunately I'm not looking at a lot of good things happening here. We'll put this on here because of the Death Touch, right? And we'll send in the Spirited Companion. One of 2 things will happen, right? The Guidebot will block it. That will take away his ability to have Death Touch on the Blade Blesser, and that'll allow our Generous Visitor to start attacking more aggressively. Or he'll let the 2 damage go through in order to kind of retain the, the death keel here. So Spirited Companion attacks solo. If it trades with Blade Blesser, we're happy. If it trades with Guidebot, we're happy because it makes it really, really tough for him to deal with the next attack. Mm-hmm. He knows. He knows. He knows. So since the companion didn't do that, like it didn't work, so to speak, I can do the same thing with the Bear of Memory on the next turn, but I can get an extra card by throwing out my Geothermal Kami right now, bouncing my Spirited Companion out, popping up a yep, bringing it back in, getting another trigger on the +1s, putting a trigger here just to make it so that if we ever get rid of that Death Touch, we're not have to worry about it. We've got something that covers the damage that the Blade Blesser would do. And then we'll attack with the Bear of Memory. Mm-hmm. That's real good. High-speed hover bike taps a creature on entry. That's exactly the attack he was expecting. So we're going to say no. That's a good play. Nice play. He's out of mana. He could... Oh, I guess that was the end of that turn. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was going to happen. Okay. We have a total of 7 mana. This is 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to throw a Weaver of Harmony out. And it's going to resolve? What does he have? Like for 1 mana that's red. I don't know. Um, this is going to take up all the rest of our mana, so we're not going to have an opportunity to do the +1 a second time. But I would like to... I would like to probably pop it on to you, just to protect. We'll see how many more removal spells come our way. I think we're okay with this, right? Just kind of force his hand. He's going to have to block something now. Mm-hmm. Something's going to happen. What? Why would he take the Bear of Memory out? I guess because of the +1 that we could give with Trample becoming just too dangerous, but we're threatening lethal already. Bamboo Archer has really done his job here. He has really kind of focused on making sure that we didn't have to deal with anything coming at us as far as the attack is concerned, because it was pretty much a suicidal attack for the entire game. I think he only snuck in 1 attack with that this guy right here, the Blade Blesser. I kind of feel like he built this around the Blade Blesser. Like, that's what it feels like. This is a cool card. Nice. Apparently, he got the best draw ever. Like, woof, non-stop, huh? Um, I think I want to put it on him, and then I want to repeat it and put it on him, and then just put this in here. Auto pay that. And let's see what happens next. He doesn't need mana. Like I said, I felt like he was built around the Blade Blesser. Ping. Yeah, no, we're just resolve. So the question is, should you attack? I'm not worried about a rebound, and I think I only lose one creature, maybe two. I would lose the Boundless Vigor, but I could trade this for that. Yeah, I kind of think that we attack with both the Weaver of Harmony. It's painful. We'll definitely take a loss here, but why give him the opportunity to take out some of our creatures? Oh, he's only got one card left, but damn, his card quality's been so good. Um, hmm. Yeah. If I attack with both, I'm going to lose one. So he'll have me in numbers after that. So we'll say no. I'll take the risk. Guess he could copy the Blade Blesser. If I can just remove the Blade Blesser, this whole thing's over. Oh! Dude, I screwed up. I screwed up big time, and now I'm back to this again. Damn, damn, damn. I might be able to get this up to 8 before the Walking Skyscraper does anything serious as far as damage is concerned. My thought is if I could get this up big enough and then throw these attacks in, it would be so devastating to his side of the board that it would make it tough. This dude's just hexproof, though, so I'm going to have to beat him with beef. And I guess he could copy him? Is he? Yeah, he could copy him. I'm in trouble. I'm in real trouble. I messed up here. Just need one little itty bitty removal spell. If I all attack and then safe keep something. If I wait, I'm in trouble. I have to attack now. The question is just what's going to be the right safekeeping to do. He'll multiple block, or he'll just use the Go Shintai to block the Skyscraper. He'll kill the Weaver of Harmony, and he'll chump the Shishiro. And the crackback will be Kiki Jiki on Walking Skyscraper twice. I'll only be able to chump block one. That might be enough, though, because that would be chump block, one Go Shintai left, no more Nezumi. Reflection of Kiki Jiki will be tapped, and he'll only be able to stop 5, and Go Shintai should be able to go up. So, yeah, I just have to keep my Go Shintai of Boundless Vigor alive. That's the only answer here. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I kind of used it at the wrong place. He didn't use it on offense. He used it on defense, which I find pretty surprising. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, if we take the 3 and then the 2, I think we still kill them both, right? So we're fine with that. We'll do done there. We'll draw up here. We'll go on the Go Shintai. What? How did he get 2 cards? Damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna say no in the blocks. God, I just needed anything but that. Oh well. Um, Good game. I mean, hand it to him. Good game. No. No. He was supposed to win. He gave me too much credit. He was supposed to win. Oh. Okay. Okay. Hey, that deck that he had a lot of power in it. A lot. I have to hand it to him. He had the deck. He was supposed to win. And there, no. Okay, we're 2-1 now. That's okay. Moving on up. Oh man, he was supposed to win. That's a misplay and a half. I wonder if he's kicking himself in the ass right now. He had enough bodies to block. Yeah, he had enough bodies to block. All right, 3 mana. Let's not. Oh, Shikaka. Okay. I'm okay with not having the white right now. I'm assuming that we're gonna get back here. This guy must love. Oh, cool. Nice. That's awesome. Nice again. Got 2 of them. Oh, that's a no. No. All right. We'll go here. That'll give us a boost. I don't think we're going to attack yet. You have another removal spell? No. This dude's a pro, dude. Look at all these like crazy cool art and skins. Like he is. This is a lifer. A lifer. A win here would be incredible. Um. So we go Kami out, bounce Weaver of Harmony, and then we can't recast till the next turn. That's not that exciting. I do kind of like the idea of putting something like the Favor of Jukai on a Trampler, just as another example. So I think that that's much more exciting. So 6-7 right now. I'm going to have to say no on the attack. It would be pretty devastating. It would be like a 4 of his cards for 2 of mine. That might have been the right play. But if you throw some beef, it's got power of 4 or greater, and he bounces his Spirited Companion back out, and then he casts it back again, which he didn't, which has me thinking, I think I just repel the vial. Goodbye, you. Right? Hello, you. That's fine. Think I'm getting a removal spell because I got a lot of touching going on here. Too much touching. Stop touching. I'm gonna start touching yours. Touch yours. Touch yours. Touch, 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 touch. uh, yeah, yeah. That's okay. Got some damage in. I think we just put our own little boy out here for now. And we'll definitely do the Go Shintai Boundless Figure, and we'll hold back on the safekeeping. Oh. I'm going to cancel that. Just resolve once. If I had some more defenders or whatever the case is, but he might have another Repel the Vial, right? And if he does, I kind of would really like to frustrate it. That's fine. See that right there? That's exactly what I was worried about. Ooh. That's why getting the extra +1 wouldn't have been great, although we probably would have been okay. I can get some extra life by doing a bounce, but I don't think it's worth it. So I think I'm just going to continue to put some pressure on the board. Yeah, I'm just going to decline on that. Does he have another removal spell? Be his third? 1, 2, 3? No. All right. I'm a little nervous about blocking the Mr. Samurai. Unless a creature comes out here, and then it's a different story. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think I'd probably would put the geothermal up. Oof. Just getting a little bigger. What do you think? Repeat it? It's still available to repeat, huh? Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Definitely, both of us are kind of flooding out. I'm assuming that that might be a land. No, no, it's a Death Toucher. And if he makes contact, he can exile a target artifact or enchantment that a player controls. So, yeah. We can't let that attack us or touch us. I'm going to say no. I'm going to do the same thing again. I got to stop drawing land, please. Masters of Shishiro. That's not going to change anything. That stupid Capitec wrecker. I almost don't mind attacking with the geothermal right now, because it's going to trade with something on his board. And let's kind of break it up a little bit, right? I don't think he's going to trade with like the samurai. Or he might sacrifice the samurai to block with the samurai. Or he might just jump. That's fine too. And turn. We're okay with this. I got to get rid of that Death Toucher, so any removal spell right now is game over. And that's not a removal spell. But that will give us some pluses, and those pluses will make life a little bit harder on our boy here. Give me a removal. Or land. I think I'll attack with both. It's a good trade. He'll come on, yeah. He'll sacrifice to save the Capitec Wrecker, and he'll trade out the Sunblade Samurai with the Jukai Naturalist. I will say, yep. Let's go. So, how close are we right now to lethal, right? I think we do this, and we do maybe, I think we just keep sticking it on there, right? Next, I'm going to hold off on this attack here. End that turn, repeat that ability, do that again. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Auto P, auto P. Okay, so at this moment right now, he could block with just one on the Capitec Wrecker, but he would still be giving up 13 damage, right? I kind of like this. What could I get back out? Nothing? The Naturalist. Yeah, that's fine. mean, we just kind of annihilate his board. We're not threatening a ton of damage otherwise. But I'm fearing a removal spell coming soon. We'll just say resolve. We don't need to repeat that. Because we have a better one to repeat. Stick that on there. So, for argument's sake, if I attacked with her and him, I would be trading with the Likeness of the Seeker and the Bear of Memory, and he would have to block everything. I wouldn't have a ton, but I'd have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I would be getting rid of 10 of my 17 damage, hit him for 7, clean his board up, and be threatening 3, 4, 5. But then I could bring the Jukai out there for 6, 7. So he's kind of dead in 2. Yeah, I think that's probably the right answer. Right? Or I wait a turn and risk losing it all, right? So I think we just go 2 attackers. That's what I expected. That's not what I expected, but that's A-okay with me. I do think everybody's dead. Right? It's a board wipe. And we still have the 4. Let's do this and this. And we'll discard a card. And we'll bring back you. We'll bring back you first, just to make it life easy. And then we'll discard a card. And bring back you. And we'll go to you. And we'll put a +1 on you. We'll all attack here. And we will auto-pay that. And we'll put that on there. And feel like we did good. No scoop? You got 1 card. Yeah. Yeah. Shenanigans, man. Shenanigans. Okay. That is definitely a good sign. Because this dude, I just want to point some things out, okay? He's got the Kapitek Wrecker skin, the Jukai Naturalist skin, the Selfless Samurai skin. That looks amazing, right? That looks so good. It's not that I like the card, I just like the skin. And then he had the lands, the old school land kinds of stuff. That dude has been playing Magic for years, if you ask me. So that feels real good. We definitely had a more stronger deck than he had. He blew all of those removal spells really early on in the game, and none of them ended up panning out because of our safekeepings. So we kind of just happened to start off with the answers to his equation. He didn't end up having any more removal spells. Is it worth us putting like 1 more safekeeping into the deck? Hear me out. Hear me out. We're on a 41 card special, but we have too much land and we've flooded like every game. And so if we're trying not to flood, the percentages will work out just a little bit better for us. It's like I don't want to go down to 16 and I don't want to go up to 17. So this is like a way to hit 16 and a half, so to speak. And it's not really, it's more like 16.7 lands, but it's still enough for me to say I think the safekeepings really have a strong nature, especially if we're going to do that slow, dirtily, grow. Anyway, we're 1 win away from the over-under goal of what we were shooting for, so let's make it happen, Captain. It's a great opening hand with one problem. If we don't draw a green card, we're doing nothing until turn 3, and it may take even longer. I'm going to mulligan. Oh, it didn't get any better. It got worse. Oh, it got it worse again. Jeez. What a terrible, terrible, terrible hand. Oh. Well, they didn't want us to get there. That's okay. Let's see if we can't take a double mulligan up. Oh, we have a gold player. That's nice. We might. Leech Gauntlet's good. Very, very good. Let's go with the Bamboo Archer. Put some Defender on it. Yeah. Toughen you up a bit. We're not attacking into that. There's no reason to trade. We do get the white land. We will give up our Tamio. Please don't flood me. Oh. Not yet. I said, please don't flood me. You're flooding me. He didn't hit a land, by the way. So maybe he should have doubled. Oh my god! You dirty bastards. Nope. Did you get the land? Stop with the land. Like, he's getting none. I'm getting all of them. I got my 7th land on turn 4. Alright. He had to discard. Oh, we got our 8th land, of course. I mean, psh, what did you expect? What did you expect? Just do this. Without a removal spell. He didn't have the kind of power to overcome. Ow! That hurt. He got a land. Ugh. Okay. Can we not get a land? No. You gotta be a land. Just not land at this point. 8 lands, 9 lands. Like, come on. Not a land. It's better to flood early in games and then draw cards that help you while you still have 20 life, right? Than it would be to do the reverse and not have the lands that you need. And unfortunately find yourself in a situation where you can't, you can't survive. Oh my god. I'd still double block you, sir. You're a pain in the butt. So much for this one. Well, let's just do it this way. I'd rather be able to cast a creature and make them really, really strong and take this 3 damage. Not panic about the whole thing. Yeah, it's going to get wide. It's going to get wide fast. My turn. It's a card. At least it's not a land. That's not a card. I have to do something to block. Like, it's a must. Have a land. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, bro. We won't be bouncing anything. We are stabilizing. Hoping for not another removal would be our one, two, no, yeah, fourth removal here. Jesus. Stop touching everything. Nope. Got to get a land. Not going to do me any good. I'm full on tilt on this game at 10 lands to his 1, 2, 3 removal spells. 4 removal spells because the fourth one's sitting there. So he's drawn 4 removal spells and I've drawn 10 lands. Come on, dude. Is there any chance I survive? I don't think so. I can't draw a removal spell. I can't draw a creature. I can't draw anything but a land. If you do another land, I'm going to be so sad. Yeah. Oh, giant fuck you. I'm not. It's just a giant fuck you. Oh, man. That was, what was that, 7 turns in a row of land? Is that right? We had 1 Spirited Companion. That was it. Just... Well, it's not better to flood early if you're also going to flood middle and late. That's a problem. So now it's, this is it. If we get this win, we get to 4, and we feel great. And if we don't, I feel like this deck disappointed, unfortunately. And that was just a draw situation. They had to mulligan twice to survive. And then once we did, and it looked so good, it just all fell apart because here comes the land, the land, and the land, and the land, and the land. Like, they shouldn't do it. If they're gonna do hand smoothing in this game anyway, like if that's what you're gonna do anyway, why don't you? I don't know. Do it in this too, right? Like at least make the experience something better than that, where it's just all complete randomness. Go ahead, attack. Jukai Silencer. Ninjutsu's in. Takes out Jukai Naturalist. And puts us on our back foot. Right? Oh, that's actually... That means we didn't lose a creature. Amazing. Right? We can go with Kami of Transience. And Weaver of Harmony, making Kami stronger. All attack. Go that way. Feeling good. Feeling good. You got your Lord out. We got our Lord out. Not a shocker. I've already got 6 lands. Wouldn't think that we're going to get, what, 5 more in a row? No, that could never happen. Tap our creature. He's right. We're not going to block, unfortunately. He's going to do another ninjutsu. I'm surprised he's taking the Lord out, unless he's going to bring in that guy now. Biting Palm Ninja? He's going to find out about our land situation. Oh, that is so funny. We'll throw up a land, maybe? How's that sound? A land? And we'll stick this on... What would be good? Probably the Jukai, right? Yeah. Let's go. That'll give us some heals, and that'll get some damage across the line. Give him an attack, a clean attack on the way back in if he wants to recycle his Biting Palm Ninja. So far, though, the scary things like the Bounce Ninja and the Dukai Silencer have not shown up. And so far I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. Yep, there it is. There it is. That's not that bad, actually. Yep. I think we just attack with the 2, right? And the reason we do that is because we can double up the Go Shintai Boundless Vigor and say, yeah, autopay, and here comes the trampling. I think we are threatening lethal on the next turn. We might still be threatening lethal if we draw. Oh. If we trade out Kami of Transience, and he doesn't block Weaver of Harmony, I think we'll just do this here. Make him sad. We did it! Ha! What did we say? The over-under was 4, right? I think that's what we said. I think we got to the over-under line. So, bam! Next win would be sweet. Anytime I get to this, I feel really successful in this format because it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of acquiring, and there's a lot of, risk associated, it feels like, with the games. Yeah, I mean, like limited feels good. Standard right now feels terrible. And I'm going to be a little sad that this is going to go away. March of the Machines, though, has a chance to do a lot for this game. We're definitely got to keep here. We've got a turn 1, a turn 2, a protection. So if we can get to, like, I don't know. If we can get to turn 3, Weaver of Harmony, and we don't lose these two, I'm feeling pretty good. He's looking at that hand. He is looking at that hand. No, wait. No, he's not. Sweet. Oh, no, we got the mirror match. What do you think? Oh, that's so scary. Oh, that's so scary. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I definitely dig that, though. Okay. We wait for a second. We can't cast our Spirited Companion, and we can all attack and go racing. Yeah. He can block. I like the block. We can do this. He doesn't have a protection. We take out that, like a removal spell does. and get some board presence and see what happens next. Mm-hmm. Hmm. What do you think? Good trades? Fanga Shigeki maybe? And Bear of Memory both? Those are good trades. Yeah. We can definitely do that too. Autopay. Autopay. Okay. If we get a white mana, we can do this. Oh, an Atsushi. What the what? What the what? Yeah. I would trade this for an Atsushi. Right? Yeah. Nah. We won't do it. We're not under any deal here. We'll do this again. We'll do this again. We'll autopay this again, and we'll just get it big. We don't need to panic about an Atsushi. Experimental Synth. I definitely will take some hit here with the Atsushi. Searchlight Companions, going to add one. Clock is getting a little scary. For whatever reason, we cannot seem to grab the I think I wait one more, although I kind of run the risk of just letting him continue to throw bodies up there, and he could do like the 4-1 body kind of deal. So maybe I do the attack at this moment here. I think I do. I'm okay with, 5-6. That's not the way to go. He could do this and do a double trade and just have Searchlight Companion back. So that would be the worst case scenario. The more likely thing is maybe a Generous Visitor kind of chumpy block. Oh, no. We get them both. I dig it. That is a very good trade. Yeah, he'll get a bunch of treasures, but he only has one mana to spend. I guess he gets them as like draws. He got a land and deal 2 damage to any target and 1 damage to each target. So he's got himself a nice little board wipe. And so our guys are gone. But he's only threatening 2 damage a turn at this moment. And it will turn to 4, but it's not super scary. We can do this. I don't know why we can't find a land. A white land. Are we at halfway yet? No. Mm-hmm. Ah, are we going to lose? I didn't think we were going to lose. I thought we were taking on his big threats. Instead, we're stuck doing a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I think we're going to lose. I don't have answers, and yeah, it didn't pan out at all. Am I really going to trade that out? I think so. If I do that, I can't do that. So we'll see next. Mm-hmm. We're gone. We're lost. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, we're gone. Good game. It's too much. Okay, we got to 4, and one of them was a sneaky cheat win. We definitely flooded so many times that I feel like I never, ever, ever want 17 lands again, unfortunately. Um, don't know why we flooded like we did, but we definitely did. 450 gems added back into the pool brings us back over 4,000. That means, we started at 5,700. That means we've spent 1,500 gems for our 12th 1,500 gems, yeah, for our 12th deal. So we've been averaging about 150 cost on there, which is not bad. Oh, good. In a creature deck, I think that would work out pretty good. And this is our first. Otherwise, Behold the Unspeakable is a great card, and I don't think I had a ton of them. So definitely worth it. Did we get 2 packs, though? We got the bonus pack? Oh, exciting. I got a wild card. We got to spin the dial. We're up to 8 rares, 7 mythics, and a Shikaka 80 for the other ones. And the best card in the game. We just got the best card in the game. Mm-hmm. You have 60 different alerts. That's all good. We are scheduled for this to come up pretty solid. We have 825 out of the 1,121 cards. I think that 1,121 just kind of, I think that's reflective of all of the cards. No, that's just all the cards added. No, no, no. See, these are duplicates, right? So if you just looked at it from a rarity perspective, you'd have like 500 on the nose plus another 60. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at what I've got versus them. 450-ish, 510, and then another 19 would be like 530 cards. So I'm not so sure what they're saying as far as total count, because if they're talking about 4 copies of every card, we're not even close. But yeah, feels like there's more than 1,100 cards if you can count, unique cards, something like 600. There must be something wrong with the commons. I don't think there are 400 unique commons. I think now that I look at this, I'm going to go back to this again and see if I can understand this. This is probably already brought up into 4, right? And it does divide evenly by 4. So that does kind of make sense because that would be like 113. So there's 113 of these, 95 of those, 62 of those, 19 of those. And the reason why this is already done is because we got all of them, and then that's showing us how many we have 4 copies of. So it kind of like quads it up and then shows you a different number across the way. This shows us that we've gotten 1 of every single card in the set, and we are pretty close to 4 copies of every single card in the set with some very, very small iteration. So we are doing a good job of collecting. I do think, though, that it's probably worth doing one more. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Draft. I mean, they're cheap, is the way that I would see it. We don't. Just to point this out too, I have a draft token left over, right? The Mastery Pass typically comes with a draft token pretty early on in the set, right? Something like here on the level 15. So that's like week 2, you get another draft token. Inside here, I really wanted to get the sealed token and the 2 extra tokens, and then these plans kind of help, and nothing wrong with picking up a free Planeswalker or 2 along the way. And so if you start to add up, like, what's the value in gems? Not on if you would have bought it, but what are you going to earn back, right? Like, how many gems are you going to end up with after you're all done? I've got 1, 2, 3, and then Mastery Passes 4 free Premier drafts that I can do in March the Machine. after I get my footing and get understand who the cards are. And then I've got one sealed that's really going to just kind of jumpstart me on my collection, give me a lot of the commons and uncommons, and give me an opportunity to play with them for a little bit, figure out where those synergies are so that I'm not wasting those Premier Draft tokens in not earning anything back. Now, you get 3 wins in the Premier Draft, you're looking pretty solid, right? What you getting? Something like 1,000 gems, right? So if I'm in a Premier Draft and I'm getting 3 wins, I'm getting 1,000 gems in 2 packs. So this is a lot more rewarding for getting to that 3 and 4 line kind of deal. But you're also having to pony up twice as much, and typically it seems like you're facing off with some pretty serious competition. I think that we've kind of risen to where our expertise level is at. I think that it's possible for us to get out of Platinum in Limited and kind of keep driving towards it um, on that side of the equation. But it's not a must do, like a must have goal, if that makes sense. If I could find a way to um, in the March of Machines do some positive things in the Premier Draft kind of schedule and the sealed schedule. There's like 5 or 6 drafts. It'd probably take me over a week to do those because I usually only typically do like one a day. Today is going to be a little bit of a fun day here. But it's the last day before taxes. We're doing taxes tomorrow, so this is our last chance to get it done. And the draft is going away, right? Like they're retiring this, and so this is our last chance to kind of flex Kamigawa muscles and get those kinds of cards that we want. Um, yeah, yeah. I look at some of the other cards in the other sets too, and I just feel like Neon Dynasty was just such a good group of cards. Innistrad, I don't. I mean, vampires and werewolves have not turned out to be, game breakers in future sets. To watch. Streets of New Capenna has a lot of great cards, but it's not like, oh my God, you're not going to survive if you don't get the domain and if you don't get the treasure tokens. Like neither of those concepts have played out extremely well, but this one is still extremely relevant in the meta today. And so if I was going to look at like picking some kind of set that I wanted to go after, I feel like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty was the one for sure. Okay, I'm going to take a pause here, and then we're going to restart it. That way I can keep the draft separate, so it'll make it easier for me to splice. If you're watching, appreciate it.